Hey everybody, Aaron here from Comic Booked, and today, if you saw our last video, you saw what we've got in store, which is last video we had two booster pack, two set boosters, and a collector booster, and for this one we have three Phyrexia All Will Be One pre-release boosters or pre-released boxes to open. So yeah, each of these has six booster packs, a promo foil, and a die. And it could be the 1 in 15 Phyrexia die, which is white and cool looking. And I showed you the one that we pulled that my daughter actually pulled during our first pre-release. So it's got Phyrexian numbers all over it. It's pretty cool. But let's get into these. Hopefully, some good stuff out of here. We shall see. All right, all kinds of goodies here to go through today. So we have our three pre-released boxes. We'll stack two of them up over here. There's a little pull strip on the side. So you want to pull that and unfold. And I like the way these boxes are constructed. You know, you've got the symbol for the set here on the inside. You got a couple of little punch out tabs. You have your box here inside. There's punch out buttons here for poison counters on the top, and they can also just be used for any other kind of counters. There's these are nice. You know, you punch these out. Um, I don't know. I guess they were designed for coin flip. Flip a coin, see which is heads or tail. I don't know, but I've used them before to make. Hey, I need a mite token. Oh, got a mite token. Okay, and other things. So they're versatile, and you kind of work with your opponent when you're playing for what they're willing to let you do. But beautiful artwork on there. Elish Norn on the back. The Phyrexia stuff going on there in the front. So my local game store, local comic shop, had these for sale. After the fact, they always sell the excess that they don't sell during the pre-release, and these are going for $26 a piece. So that's our target. See what we hit as far as value. So we know we have a promo. We'll look at that last. Oh darn, not a Phyrexia die. Still really cool looking die. Um, they did a nice job with these. They're very clear. They're heavy. They roll well. Although these are spin downs, so 2019, 18, 17, as opposed to regulars, which are more randomized, but not just completely down around the die like the numbers do for spin downs. So we'll set that aside. We'll just set it up here so you can still see it. We're gonna take the box and we're gonna move it off the table. Nothing else in it. It's just in the inside stuff. So there's an extra little box, I guess, if you want to hide whatever in there. I'm not sure. But yeah, okay. Let's start with our boosters. So these are draft boosters. So they're designed a little differently than set boosters. You don't get an art card. Um, you do get a land card in every pack and a token or something. So there's our token. Oh, we actually got Koth, Fire of Resistance. All right, so I was playing with the light a little bit just to see if it was easier, but it's not, so I'll turn it off. Sorry. Koth, Fire of Resistance, this is his emblem. So when you have Koth, the Planeswalker, and you use his, I think it's remove seven loyalty counters, and then he gets this ability, or you get this ability, basically. Whenever a mountain enters the battlefield under your control, this emblem deals 4 damage to any target. It's pretty nice in a red deck. All right, so starting off, we'll divide these up in colors and rarity. Well, maybe just rarity. So Lightbringer, Maze's Mantle, Volt Charge. If you haven't seen these cards yet, obviously you haven't been playing Magic for the last couple weeks, but there's some pretty good stuff in these packs. This is a great card, Contagious Vorak. Three casts cost 3/3, plus you get to look at the top four cards and put a land in your hand if you have it. Otherwise, you get to proliferate. That's a great trade-off. Vivisection Evangelist. This is a fun card, and I think in a good black-white deck, it's a lot of fun. You're playing Toxic. He's a 5-drop 4/4 with Vigilance, and when he comes to play, if your opponent has 3 or more poison counters, you get to destroy target creature or planeswalker an opponent controls. It's pretty nice. So these are commons, uncommons. Hex Gold Hover Wings are nice. Three and a white for Mirrodin, which means you make the 2/2 red rebel creature token and attach this. The equipped creature gets flying, and creatures you control that are equipped get +1/+0. So that's kind of a nice addition. Tainted Observer we looked at before, and another Ovika. I guess somebody wants me to make that deck and throw our land over there. Ovika's cool. I like the concept there. 7 mana is a little pricey, but there are ways to reduce that cost. There's another Koth. Some card draw and proliferate. Toxic stuff. Toxic sludge. Prophetic Prism's always fun. 2 casting cost, draw a card, and you get the mana filter. Alright, so there's our commons. Blotchful Blister Zoa. This is a pretty good flyer. 6 casting cost 4/4. Gets oil counter when he comes to play. Of course, every time you proliferate, he gets more oil counters. And then you draw a card when he dies for each oil counter on him. So it's nice. Infested Flesh Cutter. This is another one. 1 and a white. Equipped creature gets +2/+0. I'm sorry, it's blurry. Whenever equipped creature attacks, you create a 1/1 might. So, yeah, it's not bad. Incubation Sac is interesting. 1 green. Comes into play with 3 oil counters. And you can pay 4, tap it, remove an oil counter, and make a 3/3 colorless Phyrexian Golem artifact creature token. Only as a sorcery, though. And our rare is the Seed Core. Okay. So far, this wouldn't have been a bad pack or bad pre-release selection. Phyrexian Might, different artwork, and the Golem on there. Indoctrination Attendant. Cutthroat Centurion is fun. Alright, there's our commons. Scheming Aspirant for an uncommon again. Serum Core Chimera, 2, a blue and a red for a 2/4 flyer. And when you cast a non-creature spell, you put an oil counter on it. Then you can remove 3, draw a card, and then you can discard a non-land card. And when you do, this creature deals 3 damage to target creature or a planeswalker, and activated only as a sorcery. Not bad. Resistance Reunited, 1 and a white. Target creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn, and your equipped creatures get helped out by getting indestructible. And there's an Encroaching Mycosynth. This makes all non-land permanents that you control artifacts, in addition to other types, and then the same is true for permanent spells you control and non-land permanent cards you own that aren't on the battlefield. So that's really nice because you think about playing that with Urza. All artifact spells are reduced by 2, and now all of a sudden all of your spells are artifacts. So not a bad card, especially for 4, as a blue artifact. So it's pretty interesting. So our rebel token. So now we can do for Mirrodin. Okay, Malcator's Watcher. Vanish into Eternity. This is okay, but it's a little pricey. It does give you some versatility because it allows you to exile target non-land permanent. So for 3, you can get rid of everything except creatures, and then you pay an extra 3 to get rid of the creatures. But the thing with this, though, is that you can pay the 3. This is nice, because if you're playing blue-white control, and you got some power stones that you made, 2 and a white comes out of your regular mana, but then you can spend power stone mana to pay the additional cost. So it's not bad, I think. I don't know. Maybe that doesn't work like a kicker. I'm not sure. I'll ask about that one. And if you know, let me know. Molten Rebuke. Cruel Grimnark. There's a Phyrexian Bone Picker Sage. Another Vorak. Feed the Infection. 3 and a black. You draw 3 cards and lose 3 life. And if your opponent has 3 or more poison counters, they also lose 3 life. Prosthetic Injector. 1 colorless and equipped for 1, and equipped creature gets +0/+2 and Toxic 1. Blade Hold War Whip, one a red and a white for Mirrodin. Equipped abilities you activate of other equipment cost one less to activate, and equipped creature has double strike. It's not bad. The Eternal Wanderer, yeah, nice. That's what we want to see. That Wanderer is awesome. 4 and 2 white for a 5 loyalty planeswalker. No more than one creature can attack the Eternal Wanderer each combat. Add a counter and exile up to one target artifact or creature. Return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of that player's next end step. So blinking them out, which is cool. And then for 0, you can create a 2/2 white samurai creature token with double strike. And you take 4 counters off, and for each player, choose a creature that player controls. Each player sacrifices all creatures they control not chosen this way. It's pretty tough. And, when we were playing the pre-release, if you had this card in your deck, you pretty much won. So it was a lot of fun. One of the best planeswalkers, I think. Surgical skull bomb for our foil, and a beautiful island. All right. So yeah, I would have loved to have pulled this deck or this pack on day 2 when we were playing the pre-release because I got some pretty crappy ones that day. All right. And this beefy guy, 7 casting cost 5 or 7/5 with affinity for equipment and trample, could be pretty fun. Especially if you've gotten 3 or 4 equipment out. Let's say you're playing 1-drop equipment. So turn 1 you throw 1, turn 2 you throw 2, turn 3 you throw 2 or 3, and then you got him out with 2 red, which is pretty tough. Oh, I just put my sorry. I can never keep those piles separate. Minor misstep, 1 blue, counter target spell with mana value 1 or less. This is okay. Not great as far as counter spells go. Viral Spawning, 2 and a green. Create a 3/3 green Phyrexian Beast creature token with Toxic 1. And then as long as your opponent has 3 or more poison counters, this has Flashback for 2 and a green, which is nice. I love the Rot Priest. Rot Priest is my favorite card right now. 1 green, 1/2, Toxic 1. Whenever a creature you control becomes a target of a spell, target opponent gets a poison counter. Tasty. All right. This is our last pack from this. I can't believe we went through all these packs already. There are 6, right? Yeah, okay. Our token is a Phyrexian Might. That's a Glider. That's a Mana Fixing. All right, so there's our commons. Drown in Ichor. This one's a tough card. 1 in a black. Target creature gets -4/-4 till end of turn and proliferate. Of course, it's only sorcery speed, but still. Venomous Brutalizer. Another beefy green creature. 2 and 2 green for 4/4 with Toxic 3. And whenever it enters the battlefield, you may pay 1 and a green if you do proliferate. Ossification. This is a nice card too. 1 and a white. Enchant basic land you control, and then you can exile target creature or planeswalker an opponent controls until Ossification leaves the battlefield. Our rare is Miglaw's Maze Crusher we just saw in our last video. So he's pretty cool. The regular version of him. We got a foil Distorted Curiosity and a regular land. Okay, there's our promo. I like this too. I know I'm talking, but I like this too. If you're brand new to playing a pre-release, this is really a nice guide. It just, it tells you, hey, stick to round 2 colors and 40 cards, 15 to 18 creatures, 5 to 8 other spells. Of course, you adjust that up and down based on what you pull. Here's your curve, your mana cost curve. About 17 lands, and when in doubt, ask for advice. I think that's really nice. Now, this is pretty cool too. This has the kind of the breakdown of the 9 spheres of New Phyrexia, the Monumental Facade, Mirex, the Autonomous Furnace, the Hunter Maze, Surgical Bay, Dross Pits, the Fair Basilica, the Mycosynth Gardens, and the Seed Core, which are, of course, all lands as well. So that's pretty cool. I won't talk about those when I open the other 2 boxes. But let's see what our promo is. Blade of Shared Souls. That is a beautiful card and so much fun. two and a blue. 4 mirrored in, so you get our little 2/2 Red Rebel creature token. And the creature that this is equipped to becomes a copy of whatever creature you want to pick from other creatures you control. So it's pretty nice. All right. Overall, this was a pretty tough pack. I think our rares, we're kind of all over the place with the rares, but I think I probably would have focused on white as my main. You had a lot of mana fixing, so I would have probably splashed for, I don't know, splashed for green. I think there were some nice green creatures in here. Um, we had Venomous Brutalizer, Viral Spawning. Um, you had Resistance Reunited. You had a few good equipments, and Ossification was in there. So those kinds of things I would have thrown in to look at commons. The glider is always fun. Sky Sai Engulfer. Phyrexian Atlas for mana fixing. Throwing in the Skull Bomb. Those guys are reach. Um, Probably would have used Planar Disruption because that's a nice wipeout. Get rid of a creature. Another Skull Bomb. Plague Nurse is always fun. So I would have focused white, green, toxic. Just to see what I could do with that. Yeah, there was some pretty good mixed up stuff here. Um, so yeah, I think overall this would have been a good green white deck. You got the Wanderer. You could also go red green and potentially splash for white. I would definitely play the Wanderer no matter what. But yeah, it's difficult. You could do red green splash for blue. Yeah, so there's some options here. Let's see what's next. This one won't take as long. I won't talk about the box. I won't talk about anything else like that. The die is cool. Different die? Nope, same die this time. So there are different die other than the Phyrexian die, but we didn't get them yet. So token is a poison counter. Listener. Oh, hey, we got a full art card at the bottom. Nice extended art. Do 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 do. All right, we'll keep this pack separate. Chittering Skitterling. That's a mouthful. Two and a black for a 1/4. Sack an artifact or creature. Draw a card. Do that only if an opponent has 3 or more poison counters. Charforger. He's a lot of fun. 2/3 for 3. One a black and a red, and when Charforger enters a battlefield, create a 1/1 red Phyrexian Goblin creature token. Whenever another creature or artifact you control is put in the graveyard, put an oil counter on him, and then remove 3 oil counters from him, exile the top card of your library, and you can play that this turn. Minor misstep again, blue. Red Sun's Twilight. It's not quite as great as the blue and the green and the black, because it does cost 2 red, but I guess because you're destroying stuff, it's a little costly, a little more costly. 2 red and an X, and destroy up to X target artifacts if X is 5 or more. For each artifact destroyed this way, create a token that's a copy of it. These tokens gain haste. Exile them at the beginning of the next end step. All right, let's see what this is. See, hopefully it's something good. Ooh, Koth, Fire of Resistance. Feel like we should have had that in the last pack because of the 2 emblems, but still, that is beautiful. Foil, extended art, Phyrexian version. Very cool. So he's 2 and a red, 4 casting cost. For if you add, I'm sorry, not 4 casting cost. 2 red, 4 loyalty counters when he comes into play. Search your library for a basic mountain card, reveal it, and put it in your hand, then shuffle. That's if you add 2 counters to him. Subtract 3 counters, and he deals damage to target creature equal to the number of mountains you control. And then you take 7 counters off, you get an emblem with whenever a mountain enters the battlefield under your control, this emblem deals 4 damage to any target. It's pretty nice. I like him. That's a beautiful foil. That would have been a great pull. to start off this box. So yeah, I definitely would have been focusing on red with the Red Sun's Twilight. With this, garbage. Okay. Let's see. So we'll see what else we get. We got Furnace Soldier. We throw him in. We had some blue. We might do red blue or maybe red green. It could be fun either way, I think. Noxious Assault. 3 and 2 green. Creatures you control get +2/+2 till end of turn. Whenever a creature blocks this turn, its controller gets a poison counter. That's nice too. Magmatic Sprinter. 2 and a red. 3/2 with haste. When it enters the battlefield, put 2 oil counters on target artifact or creature you control. At the beginning of your end step, return Magmatic Sprinter to its owner's hand unless you remove 2 oil counters from it. Slaughter Stinger. Slaughter Stinger's fun. 1 green and a white. I wouldn't have played him in this necessarily because I would be focusing on red. But we'll see how the other packs go. 2/2 for 2, Toxic 2. Whenever another creature you control with toxic attacks, it gets +1/+1 till end of turn. And Thrun, Breaker of Silence. He is a 3 colorless, 2 green creature, legendary creature, Troll Shaman. 5/5. He can't be countered. Trample. He can't be the target of non-green spells your opponents control or abilities from non-green sources your opponents control. As long as it's your turn, Thrun has Indestructible. That's pretty tough. And then an island. So far, we've gotten 3 really nice rares out of 2 packs. So this has been a good box. Both of these have been good so far, I'll have to say. Photic Prism, that would have been good. Free from the Flesh. And you pretty much could go straight green so far, but I think it allows you to play green blue with some counter spells or some other things. There's Unctus. He's Toxic 1, 3 casting cost 2/3. When he enters the battlefield, up to 1 target artifact you control becomes an artifact creature with base power and toughness 4/4 for as long as he remains on the battlefield. Plated Onslaught's always fun. 3 and 2 white. Affinity for artifacts. Creatures you control get +2/+1 till end of turn. And Cacophony Scamp, 1 drop, 1/1. When he deals combat damage to a player, you can sacrifice it. If you do, proliferate. And when he dies, it deals damage equal to its power to any target. Wow. Tekathal, Inquiry Dominus. 2 and 2 blue for a 3/5 flyer. If you would proliferate twice instead. And then you can pay 1 and 2 blue, or 1 and 4 life, or 1 and 2 life and a blue, or 1 and a blue and 2 life. You see the options? Remove 3 counters from among other artifacts, creatures, and planeswalkers you control, and put an indestructible counter on Tekathal, Inquiry Dominus. So he's not the greatest Dominus, but he's cheap. 4 casting cost, 3/5 flyer, and if you proliferate twice. It's pretty nice. We put him there in our foil stack. So a mythic, a foil rare, and 2 regular rares so far. Phyrexian Might token and a poison counter on the other side. Get some more white. There's Bladegraph Aspirant, 2 and a red for a 2/3 with Menace. Equipment spells you cast cost 1 less to cast, and activated abilities of equipment you control that target Bladegraph Aspirant cost 1 less to activate. All right. There's our Fair Basilica, Porcelain Zealot. Porcelain Zealot, 3 and a white, 2/3. At the beginning of combat on your turn, target creature you control gets +1/+1 till end of turn. If that creature has Toxic, instead it gets +2/+2. Vat of Rebirth, fun black card. Whenever another artifact or creature you control is put in the graveyard from the battlefield, put an oil counter on it, and then for 2 and a black, tap. Remove 4 oil counters and return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Activated only as a sorcery. Reject Imperfection as a counterspell. If that spell's mana value is 3 or less, proliferate. Blue Sun's Twilight. So we are kind of pushed towards red and blue, I think, with this. The blue is awesome. 2 blue and an X. Gain control of target creature with mana value X or less. If X is 5 or more, create a token that's a copy of that creature. I did get to do this a couple times. That was a lot of fun. Apostle of Invasion, another great white card. 6 casting cost 4/4 with flying, and as long as your opponent has 3 or more poison counters, it has double strike. and a beautiful swamp. All right, we got 2 packs left so far. I'm really leaning towards that red blue mix. Red just for Koth. I mean, if nothing else, because to be able to do damage just playing mountains, and there's our Koth emblem. That's the sign, right? Yeah. Well, I don't know. Hazardous Blast is good. Prologue to Phyrexia. This is the one and blue. Each opponent gets poison counter, and you draw a card. Draw Skull Bomb. Magnetic Sprinter again. Oh, we'll drop these. Another Reject Imperfection. So you got quite a few counter spells. Rhea Ivor, Bane of Blade Hold, 2 white and a black for a 3/4 with Battle Cry. So whenever this creature attacks, each other attacking creature gets +1/+0 till end of turn. And at the beginning of combat on your turn, the next time target creature would deal combat damage to one or more players, this combat, prevent that damage. If damage is prevented this way, create that many 1/1 colorless Phyrexian Might artifact creature tokens with Toxic 1, and this creature can't block. So he's not bad because if he attacks with the mites, they become 2/1s instead of 1/1s. Pretty nice. Incisor Glider is fun. That's a common foil. All right, let's see what our last pack holds to really cinch our decision on what color to play. I mean, I can see it, I can see us going with some white, but I would really go with blue at this point. Sorry, the Phyrexian Horror, Chrome Prowler. Yeah, I would do blue red at this point with the rares and mythics you got. It just seems like a no-brainer to me. Seed Core for some mana fixing if you needed it. There we go. All right, so let's see what this is. It is Thrun, Breaker of Silence. All right, so we got a Thrun and we got another Thrun, but I would still not play him and I would focus on the green or the blue and the red. I think that would be a lot of fun with this and the deck would work really well. All right, so overall, not bad for these 2 boxes. So this one, we got the Seed Core, we got Rhea Ivor, Blue Sun's Twilight, Red Sun's Twilight, and Thrun, plus the Thrun promo. So it might have pushed some people into playing a little more green, which might have been okay. I would do green red then in that case, and not play Tekthul. But yeah, that was cool. So all right, we'll move these over, make some room for these two. So we know we have a foil and a mythic, and our last box. Be sure that you like, share, and subscribe. I do appreciate that. It helps me be able to do more stuff. Oh, darn it. No Phyrexian die, but we did get another different color die this time, the white. It helps me do, sorry, I lost my train of thought there. It helps me do more of this kind of thing. It helps me to do giveaways. One of these times I do want to do some pack breaks or box breaks. I have a couple of boxes of cards. I have a box of Kaldheim collector boosters. I have a box of Brothers War collector boosters. I have a box of Dominaria United collector boosters. I have a box of Dominaria Remastered collector boosters that I would love to do box breaks on for you guys and have each of you, if you wanted to, buy a pack and open them up on the video and then send them to you when they're open. But right now, we're not quite to that point yet, so we're getting there. But please check out my shorts. I have been, showing off my shorts. I have been doing some shorts, just adding those. I guess that's one more requirement to being monetized. Our site and our page used to be monetized a while ago, but things got kind of shaken up. So I've been running it for the last couple years, and things, just people don't want to work for nothing, and I understand that. People don't want to write for free. People don't want to help out with videos for free, and I understand that. That makes perfect sense. My thought has always been, as we're building something great, it'll be the money will be there someday. And for right now, it's just fun to get out here and talk to you guys, be able to show this stuff off. You know, I'm hoping that I'm gonna get a few eBay auctions up here and start doing some packs and box breaks for you guys and start seeing a little bit of income from this that I can then turn into higher production value. I can turn into more giveaways and promo stuff and get some pre-release things ahead of time and be able to show those off to you. More Pokemon, more Magic. I'd love to get into some Flesh and Blood stuff, more HeroClix. I have, speaking of HeroClix, coming up in a video later on, I have an entire brick of Avengers War of the Realms HeroClix to open. So I hope you like to listen to me talk. I did get a comment the other day, which was really great, and I appreciate it. That a lot of other of the shows out there, the channels out there, are a little monotone, but I add some variety. So I'm like, hey, thanks. I've been doing a lot of Magic lately, but I have been doing some Hero Clicks. I have a bunch of sports stuff to do, so I'm gonna try to do some sports unboxings here in the next maybe record a few more today and then post them over the week. Whether you like that stuff or not, it's still some things I just want to do as far as some variety to the channel. So I know we're comic booked, right? But it's just a little bit of everything. I think, and any more comic booked is more about pop culture, and it's just about the phenomena of nostalgia feeding a market that is just out of control in some cases. There are things, you get a special like um, the oil slick foils from the collector boosters. Some of those oil slicks are just going for so much money. I've seen TCG Player and some of those other guys selling them for $250 for some of the higher valued ones, and it's crazy to see that, and that's why the oil slicks are only available in the completed bundle or whatever, and those aren't even out yet. They don't even come out for a couple months or a couple weeks. I think like middle of March they finally ship. So our local shop had them pre-ordered for one day and then realized they were probably going to be allocated. So he took the pre-orders off, but a few people did pre-order. I'm like, I'd love to get one, but I don't really want to spend $200 on one online when they retail at $85. Anyway, so I'm just like that. Back to the show, right? Sorry, I get on my soapbox there sometimes and talk about stuff. At least I'm not complaining about Magic 30 like some people. Just let it go. It really has nothing to do with the game. It's just the company trying to make some money. All right, so this pack is our first one from this new box. Get some decent commons. Then we got an uncommon armored scrap gorger. One on a green, 0/3. Three, he gets +3/+0 as long as he has 3 or more oil counters on him. You can tap him and add 1 mana of any color, which is great. And then when he becomes tapped, exile target card from a graveyard and put an oil counter on him. So he's really nice because he gives you that extra mana, and after 3 times getting the mana, he gets +3/+0 or proliferate a couple times. And he's a 0/3 for 2 that gives you an extra mana. That's really decent. Transplant Theorist, 3 and a blue for a 2/4. Whenever it or another artifact enters the battlefield under your control, you can draw a card. If you do, discard a card. And then for 2, you put target card from your graveyard on the bottom of your library. And Vivisection Evangelist again. Oh, and another Koth, the regular version this time. Okay, see where this is starting off. Billowas Skull Dweller. That's interesting. That is a 1/1 with Death Touch. Toxic 1 for 1 black. It's a nice uncommon, too. All right, next pack. The Hollow Sentinel. Another Atlas. Skull Bomb. All right, expand the sphere. 3 and a green. Look at the top 6 cards of your library. Put up to 2 lands from among them on the battlefield tapped. and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. If you put fewer than 2 lands from the battlefield this way, proliferate a number of times equal to the difference. So this is a nice way to proliferate twice or once and get a land, or, get 2 lands if you need it. Exuberant Fuseling, another 1-drop. 1 red, 0/1, trample, gets +1/+0 for each oil counter when it enters a battlefield, and whenever another creature or artifact you control is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, put an oil counter on Exuberant Fuseling. Ambulatory Edifice, it's a walking building. 2 and a black for a 3/2. It enters a battlefield. You may pay 2 life. When you do, target creature gets -1/-1 till end of turn. And Green Sun's Twilight. X and a green. Reveal the top X+1 cards of your library. Choose a creature card and or a land card from among them. Put those cards in your hand, the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. If X is 5 or more, instead put the chosen cards in the battlefield or into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Nice. So I'm thinking red-green might be the focus this time. Again. It all depends, I think. There could be other cards come out here that push us away from a red-green. Blah, Minor Misstep, Viral Spawning, Scheming Aspirant. There's our white-green dual land. Enters a battlefield tapped unless you control 2 or fewer other lands. So we got the Koth, right off the bat, and the Green Sun's Twilight so far, pretty good. A lot of the same. The commons, obviously, Drown and Ichor, Venomous Brutalizer, Atraxa's Skitterfang, Skitterfang, 3/3, or I'm sorry, 3 costs, 2/2, enters a battlefield with 3 oil counters on it. At the beginning of your combat on your turn, you may remove an oil counter. When you do, target creature you control gains your choice of Flying, Vigilance, Death Touch, or Lifelink until end of turn. So it's kind of like the Steel Seraph. I've said this before, so you can give it different abilities, although Death Touch is included in there too. Something extended art. Miglaw's Maze Crusher. Yeah, okay. So again, feeding into feeding into the green-red mix that we expect for this box to be pointing to. Okay, sorry. Pieces of trash. A cat. I haven't seen that token. That's cool looking. Yeah, I don't know. This would be a difficult one, I think. I would definitely go with red because of Koth and Miglaws. Charforger, they'll let you think about playing some black. And then you've got some nice black cards. And then you've also got him with the equipment, but we haven't gotten a lot of equipment so far. Azuri, Stalker of Spheres. I don't really think playable in this mix unless you went blue-green, but I don't see a necessarily need to do blue-green. Depending on what our what our promo is and what comes out of this last pack, I guess that'll really be. It's not quite as clear cut here as we have seen in the other boxes. So we got some big green creatures, big red creatures. Tamiyo's Immobilizer is a nice blue. Tap it, remove an oil counter to tap target artifact or creature. There's our equipment. We had a couple equipment, but not a whole lot. And then prosthetic injectors and other equipment. Our rare is Soulless Jailer, 2-drop, 0/4, permanent cards and graveyards can't enter the battlefield. Players can't cast non-creature spells from graveyards or exile. And Ravenous Necrotitan is our foil. So yeah, I don't know with this one. Let's see what the promo is. That's really going to be the deciding factor here, I think. Maybe it'll be completely pointless. Oh, another Thrun, Breaker of Silence. All right, so I might focus on the green and do the green red. You know, you got some decent red stuff, and you could really focus on green there. You could always splash blue if you were looking for the extra proliferate, but I didn't really see much for that. We had equipment. You know, we could focus on a little bit of equipment stuff. Splash for black with him. Um, Another artifact. Couple of green. Fuseling. Um, Expand the spheres to help with mana. This guy to help with mana as well, of course. You've got some good artifact creatures there. Ruthless Predation is fun. Branchlight Stalker, Furnace Strider. You got the Skull Bomb, Blade Graft Aspirant. So yeah, I think I would focus on green and red from this. I think there's some possibility with blue, blue black, black white maybe, but I think red's got the strongest base. You know, you've got some good artifacts. You don't have a lot of equipment, so I might pull the equipment part out. But oh yeah, you've got the Tyrannax Atrocity as well, which is that 4/4 with haste for 5 and toxic 3. So that would be my focus in this pack. Um, you know, but I don't always do that great. So let's see. We got Phyrexian Miglaws. We got Green Sun's Twilight. We got a Koth regular version. We got a Koth foil Phyrexian version. Soulless Jailer. Azuri, Stalker of Spheres. Razor Verge Thickets, and Techathal. So one mythic out of 3 pre-release boxes. That is crazy. And then for our promo cards, we got 3 rares, 2 of the same, and Blade of Shared Souls. So 2 Thruns and Blade of Shared Souls. Not great. Really not as impressed um, with this as I thought we could be. But, you know, it's still fun to open. There's some good rares in there. I don't know value-wise if we got our money out of it or not, but that's not always important. So thanks for watching. I appreciate you guys taking the time. Please like, share, subscribe, leave some comments. I do respond to every comment, even if it's just with a thumbs up. I try to make sure to let you know that I'm reading them. And I look forward to hearing what you got to say. Let me know if you went to a pre-release, if you got a box, or you know if your local game store sells them after the fact and you picked one up. Let me know if you got a Phyrexian die. Those are always cool. Or what kind of rares you pulled. So thanks for watching, and look forward to an unboxing for my HeroClix stuff in a little while. Some sports stuff as well coming this week, and just all kinds of things coming soon. Thanks for watching.